This is 5 on your side at 6. Focused on you.
First tonight, 86 degrees in February. It's the warmest on record here, and those temperatures are about to take a drastic drop. Thanks for joining us. I'm Mike Bush.
And I'm Ann Allred. As those temperatures drop, the wind will pick up and we could even see some storms. Meteorologist Jim Castillo is in for Scott Connell tonight. He has the weather first forecast. Jim?
Yes, you know that 86 is the all-time record high for any February in St. Louis. Yesterday's 80, well above that old record high. And then that cold air, there it is, Kansas City to Omaha. Omaha has dropped into the 20s. So this is what we're looking at in terms of the radar and the storm threat. South and east of the metro is the biggest threat of seeing severe weather between 8 and midnight. And then we get into that bitterly cold air, and that front moves in and temperatures plummet down to 29, which is 57 degrees difference than where we were at today at 86. So it does get windy tonight after midnight, some of the gusts to 40 miles an hour, and those wind chills tomorrow morning will be in the teens. But that weather first Doppler radar, we're going to watch this all evening long. And you see the new lightning strikes to the west of Rolla. That's what we're watching as it moves east, and our southern and eastern counties are still in that really moist air, and the dew points are higher there. And this is what we'll watch as that front moves in this evening. Much more on that chance of severe weather and where it may happen coming up in Maine Weather in just a few minutes.
You can get the weather first forecast anytime. Just text the word weather to 314-425-5355. We'll send you a link.
Tonight, the search continues for a man who police say critically injured a woman in a shooting. It happened near St. Peter's in a residential area on Rosemary Court and St. Peter's Howell Road. 5 on your side's Diamond Palmer is live at the St. Charles County Police Department with some new information for us. Diamond.
Well, Mike, neighbors tell me this has caused a disruption in what they say is a peaceful neighborhood. Tonight, St. Charles County Police telling us they will not release a detailed description of the suspect because they feel it would compromise the investigation.
It is kind of heartbreaking just because this was more of a peaceful area.
John Wynn says that peace was disrupted Monday evening. A 37-year-old woman was shot multiple times on Rosemary Court near St. Peter's Howell Road. She was rushed to the hospital with critical injuries. Another person identified as a witness called 911. Wynn says the shooting made him worry for children who play outside often.
Anything could have ricocheted hit one of them kids because they're consistently out here roaming the streets and playing around, and I can say that for sure.
Police say the suspected shooter is a man, but they have not given a detailed description because they don't want to compromise the investigation. Police believe he knows the victim.
This was not some random incident. The two individuals had some type of relationship or at least interaction with each other.
St. Charles County Police say the investigation remains open and active with many leads. They were notified Tuesday afternoon the victim had surgery and was listed in stable condition, but questions still remain as to why the shooting happened.
We had evidence that we found outside and inside. And so we're trying to, ascertain exactly where it occurred. We're getting conflicting reports from another individual who was interviewed last night.
Wynn says he wishes the incident didn't end in gunfire.
They have more vengeance going out towards more people with more malice going out rather than trying to speak about it and trying to work things out.
This evening, St. Charles County Police tell us there is no threat to the community and a reminder that this is an open and an active investigation. Reporting live here in St. Charles County, Diamond Palmer, 5 on your side.
Today, family members of these two women begged a judge for justice. This mother and daughter from Chicago were killed after leaving a concert in downtown St. Louis earlier this month. The man accused of running them over is on house arrest tonight after a court appearance this morning. Our Justina Cornell was there as a judge put new restrictions on the suspect's release. She joins us live from North 18th and Olive Streets. That's where the deadly crash happened. Justina.
And there are surveillance cameras above this intersection which captured the entire crash. Now, this video will not only be used in court as evidence, but it's also circulating on social media right now after that video was leaked. This is just moments after Monte Henderson left the courthouse Tuesday morning. He's been out on bond after being charged with manslaughter, accused of killing 2 women from Chicago in town for the Drake concert. This week, video of the incident surfaced on social media. 5 on Your Side has decided not to show the moment of impact, but the video leading up to the crash shows the car speed toward the women in the intersection. Prosecutors say Henderson was going at least 70 miles per hour when he raced through a red light. Family members of the victims, Leticia Bracero and her daughter Alyssa Cordova, say the video is difficult to watch. In court Tuesday, prosecutors read a statement on behalf of those family members, and they asked for justice and said Henderson used his vehicle that night as a weapon. Meanwhile, the attorney for the suspect, Scott Rosenblum, is also upset. He believes the video's release could be an issue with jury selection.
Not thrilled that the tape was released. I'd like to get to the bottom of that. I don't understand why and how it got released into the general public this time. I mean, obviously the family wasn't happy with it. It apparently went viral. I don't know, but it has an effect on everybody.
Initially, a judge released Henderson on a $20,000 cash bond, but he didn't have any restrictions. Now, after Tuesday's court appearance, he must wear a GPS monitor, surrender his license, and can only leave his house for medical or court appointments. Police say they are doing an internal investigation right now to see how this video was leaked. As far as the 2 women, we're told they're being laid to rest this Sunday in Chicago. Reporting live, Justina Cornell, 5 on Your Side.
Illinois Senator Tammy Duckworth is calling on Congress to protect IVF treatments nationwide.
The future of fertility medicine is in question after the Alabama Supreme Court declared a frozen embryo has the same rights as a child in the womb. Our political editor, Mark Maxwell, is tracking how this ruling is impacting patients in Missouri. Mark?
Fertility doctors in Missouri are seeing a lot more calls from curious patients with questions, but they're confident for now. A 2016 Missouri court ruling set a precedent considering embryos outside the uterus property and not people. But that was all before the fall of Roe v. Wade and before a flood of red state restrictions raised new questions in the doctor's office. Senator Tammy Duckworth is no ordinary working mom. After the Iraq War veteran lost her legs in a 2004 helicopter crash, doctors wondered if she could ever get pregnant.
I was only able to get pregnant through IVF.
After the Alabama Supreme Court declared embryos on ice were due the same rights as a baby in the womb, hospitals abruptly halted the procedures there. Now Duckworth is calling on Congress to protect in vitro fertilization nationwide.
And now that the first domino has fallen, it may only be a matter of time before more hospitals make the same call.
And calls are flooding into doctors' offices like this one, with patients asking,
"Are you going to stop practicing?"
Dr. Sherman Silber was a pioneer in fertility medicine in the 1970s. In fact, he wrote the book on it.
The first book was How to Get Pregnant.
Under current Missouri law, medical insurance protects Silber's practice in the event someone accidentally were to damage an embryo.
As soon as they bring in the possibility you'd be charged criminally for dropping a petri dish, then nobody wants to practice IVF anymore.
Now, his staff has been assuring patients their care can continue.
No, I don't think Alabama understood the implications whatsoever. This is family building and is helping people have children, and it's considered mainstream now.
A man of devout religious faith rattled off decades of history and legal precedent guiding fertility law from Roe v. Wade until last week's ruling in Alabama.
The justices there made all their statements based on precedent in the Bible. I mean, normally in America, there's a separation of church and state, and a law decision is supposed to be made on legal precedent, not on Bible precedent. I know the U.S. Supreme Court is extremely conservative, but I just don't believe they can uphold a decision that's based on biblical precedent rather than legal precedent.
A number of Republican lawmakers have issued public statements of support for IVF since that Alabama court ruling, including Congresswoman Ann Wagner from Missouri. Senator Duckworth today said social media posts like those aren't enough and challenged them to put those words into action and pass new protections in federal law.
Coming up, thousands of people jailed in Ferguson could soon be getting a check in the mail. An update on a class action lawsuit filed 9 years ago.